Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I was on the internet surfing around and I came across this story about Houston residents that are struggling to pay their rent. Supposedly we live in the richest country in the world, but this is what happened, to our people when they hit rock bottom and can't make it. It doesn't make sense to me, but it's really hurtful, and it's a shame to see people struggle like this. And when they're hit rock bottom, we can't help them up. We serve them a warrant, or and tell them to go out, or get out, or something like that. So it's just really, really hurtful to see something like this. It doesn't make any sense at all, and it seems like people are only working to pay tax, and when it's bad, then that's it. So keep watching if you want to see.
From one Houston home to the next. Deputy Benny Gant with the Harris County Constable's Office executes judge's orders to evict.
We ain't got nowhere to go.
Israel Rodriguez is the tenant at this apartment, but he's not alone. 20-month-old Israel, his brother, 4-year-old Fabian, and their mother are some of the estimated 40 million Americans facing eviction in the downward spiral of the COVID economy.
They didn't rush us, but they were like, get everything you need.
Rodriguez admits he hasn't been paying rent, behind thousands of dollars.
It's my fault in the eviction. There was a lot going on during the corona. When it hit, I lost my job. So it took me like a month to get another job. This is my check, but I ain't making it with $300. It's literally $300.
Their stroller now carries their possessions.
It's mainly the kids' clothes, because me and her just wear the same clothes almost every day. Make sure we got, toilet paper and a little bit of snacks for the kids.
What are you gonna do with all of your stuff?
That's trash. They can throw it in the trash because we don't have a car, we don't have help, we don't have nobody that can come, help us out right now. Nobody. We got ourselves, me and the kids and her, that's it.
How does you as law enforcement feel about seeing that family have to go?
Oh, it's a tough situation. I've got 6 kids, 6 children. And, when the kids see the mom and dad in desperate situations, it's tough. That's clear.
Deputy Gant, an officer for 35 years, is just starting his day. 8 evictions are on his list.
A co-defendant is here, 2 of them.
At each stop, people behind on rent are ordered to leave. Possessions pulled out.
Where are you guys gonna go now?
We gotta go to a hotel.
You can go to a hotel?
As Deputy Gant works through his list, we get word that 200 eviction orders have come through the Harris County courts for this week. That's double what they normally saw for an entire month before COVID.
200 on Monday. What does that...
Well, that's a lot, yeah.
What does that say to you?
Well, what that means is that they're ready to start having people removed from properties.
It is a backlog, but it's also just one precinct in one of America's hardest hit cities in evictions. The job takes its toll.
I don't really want to put her out here, but I have to, under this judge's order.
At this apartment, the tenant is an elderly woman who can no longer afford the rent. The landlord's mover, Francisco Munoz, works, though he doesn't want to.
I have a family, I have a sister, I have my mom, and we never know. Maybe today is her, tomorrow's me,
Midway through the eviction, Deputy Gant decides it's too dangerous to evict her in the Houston summer heat.
I'm not going to put her out here in this heat.
And will call social services instead.
We're going to stay today, but tomorrow you're leaving.
A one-day reprieve with an uncertain tomorrow.
You have a situation where people aren't working, they don't have the money, and they're desperate.
Kyung La joins us now. Kyung, that's heartbreaking. That's just heartbreaking to see what these people are going through. I know there was a CDC announcement today. You've been reporting on it. Is it clear how it might work?
Absolutely not. Here's a view from Harris County. The constable's office here has immediately put a hold on everything as local municipalities try to figure out exactly what does this mean. Are there going to be challenges in court? What does this mean if there's a state authority that steps in, like an attorney general? They don't know at this point. What about the rights of landlords? Because on that day that we followed the constable's office, we spoke to a lot of landlords who said, hey, look, the banks want their money. What about us? We have tens of thousands that we have to pay up. And then it's a question of who do you evict? Because some people won't be evictable if they make a certain income or if they have or have not filled out the right paperwork. So it's very confusing. And then on the side of the tenants, what tenants are saying is that, hey, this is nice and all, but there's no rent forgiveness. This is simply kicking the can down the road on January 1st. If they haven't kept up, there's going to be a tremendous bill due for a lot of people, the very same people you've heard about in this story, John.
What a story. What an important piece of reporting there. Thank you so much. Painful, but thank you so much for shining a light on it.
So because of the COVID-19, people have lost their jobs, their homes, and now all the judicial system can do is put people out in the streets. Gosh, this is America. I don't understand. I just don't understand this. Yeah, I understand that the young man is way back on his rent. You know, he owes a lot of money, and that's vitally important too. When you have kids and wife and, you know, responsibility, you have to be responsible. You can't really or expect that you're gonna live in a house that is not yours. You're paying rent. You can't expect that you're just gonna live there forever, because landlords, you know, they depend on their money to you know, to live as well. So we can't blame them for everything. And, you know, you have to be smarter about when you're renting homes as well. But it's suppressing, you know, and I felt like this is just at the judicial system, I felt like this is just suppressing the impoverished areas in the community, you know, and I don't feel like this is no accident either. I also felt like this could have something to do with the voting and all that stuff, you know, stuff coming up. You know, there's a lot of things been happening, and they're not just happening for no reason. They're happening for a reason, and we need to pay attention. I don't think I'll have the heart to deliver those warrants to these people, especially when you go and you learn on, you know, of the condition, you see for yourself what's going on. All of us have mouths to feed. I do understand that, but it shouldn't be like this, you know, especially now in a time like this. In a time like this where people are struggling to keep their job, if they do have one or not. You know, some of us are laid off, some of us are working from home, some of us are just, we don't have a job due to the coronavirus situation. So now these people are homeless, and that is definitely not the answer to the solution to this COVID-19 situation. This is homeless, having people out on the street being homeless is definitely not the solution. This is definitely not the solution to anything. Why not the landlord lower the rent, or let the people just pay what they can till all this is over? We all have bills to pay, and I get that, but still, this just upsets me. And kicking them out and having nobody in there and having no money coming in, that's another story. Because if people's not gonna go out and rent house right now, they rather to just stay with what they have until all this is over. So I'm not for sure why the landlord didn't just lower the rent, or just let them continue to pay what they possibly can until all this stuff is over. But then again, who knows how long all this COVID situation is gonna last anyway. Unemployed and homeless, and we all understand the young man, it already came out of the young man's mouth that he was not paying his rent, and part of that is downfall. That's his downfall. I mean, you can't live in somewhere not even paying some. You have to pay something. We can't blame anybody else. It came out of his own mouth that he was way behind on rent. It's not our fault for losing our jobs because of the virus. Where's your heart, Judge? This is a shame. This should never happen in America. To me, this is a process of enforcing a new world order, slowly but surely. It's going to happen. What happened to bailout money due to COVID? Leadership needs to change. This is totally disgusting. People are a priority. We need to remember that people are a priority. There should be a plan to help renters and landlords as well. because some landlord, regardless, they depend on rent money to pay their bills, to maintain their homes and their family as well. This made me feel disgusting to a core. Sad to see people have nowhere to go. This is terrible. Many of us are still worried about COVID. The price of food price is rising. The loss of jobs. This has taken its toll on a lot of people. Putting people out on the street to be homeless needs to stop. This is foolishness. This shouldn't be happening in the first place. This is a travesty and totally unjust. People are struggling to find themselves basic necessities, food, jobs, housing, live paycheck to paycheck. It's just crazy. I've never seen nothing like this before. It's crazy. Over the years, I look into certain things and I realize that some leaders only care about their own self-serving financial greed and advancement in life, and not so much about citizens, people, anybody around them. It's always about them. Their pocket has to be filled, their bank account have to be running over, while other people are trying to make ends meet every day, and they never see that. And we all make mistakes, and when we're not perfect, but at the same time we still can't just be greedy and always advancing themselves and not anybody else. That's why you're leaders, so you're supposed to lead with a caring heart. Just so sad. Broke my heart to see something like this happening in this country. I don't just want to talk about these kind of things, but we want to know how we as people can come together and do something about it and help. I don't have much myself, but it's all about putting things into action and get things done. Those poor babies and the elderly lady in the heat in Houston, it's just crazy. I mean, I've never seen anything like this, and it just hurts, people's heart to see news like this. I know most of us lost our jobs, but boy, this does not look good at all. It does not look good. Other country may sit and watch these kind of news and like, wait a minute, this is America. How in the world stuff like that? Not that it can't happen any other places or it shouldn't happen here, but this is America. People always want to come to America because it's America. I think we can do much better than this. This shouldn't be on the news. This shouldn't be out there for other people to see. But like I said, this is not something that I do all the time, even on my channel. But I saw it and I'm like, I just have to share this because, put it out there so other people can see it who didn't see it. So it's just terrible. And it just kind of break people's heart to see stuff like this. But anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.
Thank you.